Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome once again to our session two with Saket Jain, CEO, Business Head, Fenesta Building Systems. And we're talking about the favorite subject of Fenesta, UPVC doors and windows, which, like I said in the previous session, that the institution of PVC, UPVC windows and doors was the college, the MBA, the postgrad was created by Fenesta, and kudos to that. So, Saket, with that, giving Fenesta that stature, the fact is that you've set this as a functional responsibility to set up an industry. And I say always that 98% of is the job done by or let's say 98% is done by a leader, and the rest there are going to be followers. Let's say 2% is leadership, 98% is followers. So, what message would you like to give out to all the developers, architects, and the followers in the industry in terms of the, let's say, the success story of Fenesta so far, the real attribute to that?
I think, first of all, thanks, Amit, for welcoming me again and giving that generous kind of an introduction. I think, as I was discussing in the earlier session, the most important is that you stand out with a trust factor. You do what you are committing to to a customer. Rather, commit less and deliver more is the mantra that we have been working upon, and that's something which I will advise my fellow competitors as well. And let's try to create the market is huge. We don't need to undercut each other. As I was explaining earlier, even the UPVC, even the windows and doors segment within UPVC and aluminum all put together is 15,000 crores, 18,000 crores market. It's a huge market that each one of us can easily survive in. I think what we have to look for is that whether we are going to do business for 1 year, 2 years, or next 50 years, 100 years. And therefore, what is the kind of a right product and a solution that I need to deliver to the customer so that the customer not only believes in the particular manufacturer, but also as a product. Because many a times what a person can do is harm to the overall industry. Because if somebody is selling a wrong product, uh, for example, like there are certain parts of China where UPVC is just not being used because over a period of time, the product was so degraded by a lot of people that now people just say that UPVC is a bad product. Whereas actually it is not. UPVC is a very good product as compared to the other products. But I think uh, 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 it can again go to saying that one fish can make the whole uh, pond in that sense. So let's be fair to what we are delivering. Let's be fair to what we are committing to, and let's deliver what we commit to.
I'll ask you a political question. Fenesta propagated UPVC for the longest time and now selling aluminum windows as well. Why?
Yes. Okay. So
Be not political.
So yes, we are selling UPVC, and as I mentioned, as I've been mentioning at various forums, so there are certain products which are not possible in UPVC as a system. So there are
As an
certain
example,
so for example, beyond a particular size, UPVC, yes, competition can offer, but as a brand we know, as an organization we know that basis the wind loads beyond a particular size, UPVC system might fail. So therefore, for those sizes, I would not give a product. So in fact, we were declining those inquiries earlier. So, and of course, to cater to that segment. Also, there is a new trend that has started happening. There are a set of customers, there are a set of influencers, architects who want sleeker system. Now, beyond a particular sleekness, so we had come out with sleeker systems in UPVC, but then there was a demand for more sleeker system. Now, those sleeker systems are not possible in UPVC because of the inherent nature of the product. Those products are available only in aluminum. And that's the reason why Fenesta did enter into aluminum segment. But again, we didn't enter into a normal cheap aluminum systems. We entered into a proper configured system aluminum windows, which is in fact is a much better product as compared to the aluminum whom we used to compete against with in the earlier times.
when you look at system aluminum, you're talking about the Schucos and the Renas and the Technas of the world, and your products are comparative in nature.
Correct. So where what system aluminum means is, in fact, as we were talking about, it's not that you pick up any profile, you pick up any hardware, you pick up any other accessories, just combine them and put it. You do full R&D, you design the products so that each accessory is being married to each other. You are able to deliver a much superior product to the end consumer so that it is there for next 20, 30, 40 years.
How's the journey been with aluminium windows so far?
Very interesting. Very, very
More.
interesting.
Tell me interesting that negative and positive side, because maza to tabhi aayega when we know the truth.
Okay. So yes, we did started around 1.5 years back, or almost like 2.5 years. We took almost like 1 year to decide on what kind of products that we want to cater into, what kind of various segments that we want to cater to. We set up our own internal teams to figure out what are the market demands, what are the challenges that the customers are facing currently. To our realization, one important thing that came in the market is that again, as what was happening in UPVC, there are a lot of good systems, there are a lot of good profile system suppliers. But the main fabrication is again done by small time people, wherein again, quality consistency is always a challenge. Catering to demand on a long term is always a challenge. Their risk appetite in terms of taking exposure to builders, etc., is always a challenge. Being able to service the same kind of a product 5 years down the line, if a customer wants, suppose if he has set up one window and he wants one more window in the same room, the fabricator might not have the same product altogether.
Correct.
Or if there is a hardware which goes off, what do you do? Because hardwares can go off either because of the manufacturing defect or even because of the customers. And the child might have played with the hardware, he has mishandling kind of thing. So there were the same challenges, and that's what kind of pushed us to take it more seriously, and that's when we kind of entered into this. Now, as we entered into it, of course, it's because we were the late entrant in this. There are a lot of players, as you mentioned about, in the market for last 8-10 years. But I think again, coming back to the same issue over last 15-20 years, the kind of trust we have been able to build with all our consumers, with architects fraternity, with builders fraternity, they knew for sure that if Fenesta is coming out with a product that is bound to be good, and in case if there is any issue, they are there to sort it out.
So what are the benefits of installing Fenesta in your home? Simple. You get noise insulation, dust-free interiors, negligible maintenance, special features to keep out rain and storm, non-toxic lead-free, energy efficiency, better AC functioning, low electricity bills, and lots more. Why Fenesta? Because we have an edge. Our service caters to design, manufacture, installation, and after-sales service of windows and doors.
What has been the most interesting project till date that you think that Fenesta has done? Innovative, creative, size doesn't matter.
I think one important thing which happened in 2010 was with regard to introduction of villa windows. So internationally, if you see, there were only simple casement windows. There was no concept of villa windows. In India, the wooden windows always used to, if you remember 20, 30, 40 years back, all our houses used to have twin shutter windows, one for the glass and one for the bug mesh. I think that was the most innovative thing that Fenesta did in terms of setting up a new system of a villa window system, wherein you are able to cater to the requirement of a twin shutter system. Now, of course, many people are doing good quality villa systems or even compromised quality villa system. But yes, I think that was something which was very, very innovative at one point of time. Second, I think in terms of coming out with multiple products. So I think the kind of number of products offering that Fenesta offers at this point of time is much more as compared to even some of the internationally acclaimed UPVC Supremo, so to say. Because the variety that is required by the Indian market, India is, yes, so to say, it's a one country, but then there are so many states, there are so many consumer types. And currently we are, for example, at this point of time, Fenesta is present in all the states across the country and all the 8 union territories also. So we looking into the kind of demands of the people, we are able to kind of come up with newer introductory products, newer products, so to say, which meets the demand of the consumers.
We are the only company to design windows based upon the wind load of the region. With other innovative technologies such as special hurricane bar, unique rain track to block rainwater seepage, and energy-efficient green windows. Apart from this, Fenesta have also introduced innovative technologies like low threshold slider and French doors.
How are you looking at these windows, the one which are very popular in America, the upward sliding?
So vertical slider is a very, very small segment in the country, very, very small. And that's the reason why at this point of time, we do not offer those windows. There are companies who are offering these windows, but again, as I said, one, the market is very small and the product per se, see, for example, over there, what happens is in vertical sliders, you have to be very, very aware about the security and the safety. Basically the safety, because if the window is not being kind of handled properly, or the hardware mechanism is not, it will just crash land. And if it crash lands, it can kind of hurt your fingers, it can hurt your, if you are sticking out your neck, it can hurt your neck. And therefore, it has to be a very, very proper system. There are cases where I have heard people have used the slider window in a tilted manner, you use it as a vertical slider. That's where it doesn't work.
No, this is called jugaad, na?
This is called jugaad, which we just don't believe in.
I do remember, I would not name anybody, but there was this very high-rise building in Mumbai, and where the specifier wanted to use on the 40th floor a outward opening window. And I was like, dude, 40th floor, no sill, no balcony, and an open window, a dog can jump out, some kid can jump out. He said, उसमें restrictor लगा दो ना ताकि ज़्यादा ना खुले. I said, सर आप उसकी typology ही change कर दो ना, उसको inward opening कर दो या tilt and turn कर दो. So that project still went through. It still has that open window. I don't want to talk about it, but okay. In the India's case,
just to carry forward what you mentioned. So again, as a system, as an organization, what we have done is, so we have a software that determines basis the city, basis the floor, basis the typology of the window, whether we should be offering that window or not. So it is not left to. So for example, I have almost like 500 salespeople on the field. Within our salespeople, our partner salespeople, and our partners, nobody actually can decide that this is the window I can offer to the customer or not. It is a system which decides. Which means is I have 100% control on what actually can be given to a customer, which is much more safe, much more secure, passes through the wind load requirements of the city. And those windows are being designed for one such day where a typhoon or a kind of a hurricane came and that window should stand. Not for the normal days. Normal days, every window will work.
so let's
a lot of time people say, yeah, other competitors who are selling 20% cheaper, those windows are also standing. I said, they are standing right now. What happens if a wind load, if there is a thunderstorm that comes in? What happens if, and there are umpteen number of cases, even the last one which happened in Odisha or even in Pondicherry, etc. There have been umpteen number of cases where our windows withstood those hailstorms, etc. And there were a lot of competition. There were a lot of windows which just flew away, and we were asked to replace them.
Let's hope that the vaccine, which we are going to get, I guess, soon, has also endured, unfortunately or fortunately, that test cycle, which I'm sure they have, so as to making sure that all of us can live healthy, right, without any. So just a quiz question, and I'm not going to talk much about Windows and warranty because that's something that you've talked about and everybody knows about it. Okay, what's your global ambition as Fenesta? India to sab cover kar liya. Next kya hai?
So we have already started going internationally. So we already are present in 3 countries at this point of time, and that's a dealership model that's there. But we are looking at other options for international markets as well.
Okay, so that's the first Indian multinational in the window and door segment.
Possibly, yes.
No, possibly yes to aur kya matlab? Because baki sab to multinational yahan pe aa gaye na. Abhi to somebody has to step out, and I'm not going to talk about that because that's not really subject point, but you've been there for the longest time in Fenesta and in this industry. If I were to just break this into, let's say, 3 cycles. One was the 2000 to 2010 era. What was the product and the system? Then let's talk about the 10 to 20 era. What is the product and system? And what is your thinking in next 5 years? Okay, let's say 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and 20 to 25. What do you see? Maybe start from 10 to 15. Evolution ho gayi thi thodi bahut. आप ही लोगों ने करी और बाकी लोगों ने करी. Then what happened? Product and price, and then product and price, and then product and price.
Okay, so initially, as all of us know, till 2002, UPVC was a little unknown product, so to say, in India. There were a couple of attempts in late 90s by certain companies to get into this segment, but that didn't work out. because one, it was a very costly product, and you need a little patience in terms of making the customers aware about that what are the kind of functionalities that this product is offering to. That's where Finistar got entered into the market, and we started kind of making the market aware about it. We started spending and investing a lot of time and effort in marketing this product and making this product understandable by the all types of consumers, so to say. Initially, when we started, of course, we were catering only to the builder segment. So till 2007, we were 100% to the builder segment. And that's when we started getting into the retail segment. Obviously, at that point of time, there were basic sliders and casements that came in. There were no other fancy products, so to say. It was the normal slider and a casement. Then, as I earlier mentioned about, in 2010, we introduced Villa windows. And that's a new chapter that began, wherein the traditional looking windows, which we have been used to seeing for ages, we started offering in UPVC also. Then we started also the colors. So earlier the windows were coming only in white color.
White.
So currently, as we stand, in fact, Finistar is offering 8 colors at this point of time, out of which white still is the most selling premium, most selling segment, but still wood is catching up. So we offer light oak, dark oak, mahogany, walnut. All these 4 colors are catching up. And of course, we have Flemish gold, silver brush, black color, which is also kind of the new trends and the new tastes in the market. Then I think as we moved along since 2014-15, if I see, I think the market started realizing, and even from an architecture point of view, the windows got bigger and bigger and bigger, especially in India.
Size changed, do you think because it was available and you and the fellow industry people made the higher?
I think it was coming more from the customer's demand and the architectural preferences, because I think internationally, if you see, the sizes are not that big. It's only in India that the sizes got bigger and bigger. It was, in fact, to an extent that now many a times the whole wall is getting replaced by a window or a door.
Why do you think so? If it's not internationally so and it's happening in India, what is your take on that?
I think one important thing that is happening is you want to give a little more sense of space. So if you instead of being claustrophobic inside the 4 wall, if you have a window and a door, and if you can look out and see some greenery, see sky, etc., even from a 30th floor, it gives you that sense of space. And that's where I think it started happening, that people started offering giving bigger size windows and doors. And that was one of the reasons which I mentioned that why we did enter into aluminum also, because there were certain sizes which were possible only in aluminum. So that's one change that happened. Of course, colors kept on growing, especially in the retail segment. Currently, for example, almost like 40% of the windows that we manufacture are colored windows. Then came the era of high quality glasses. So people started going for laminated glasses. Initially, it was all either SG or DG. Now people started going for tinted, double glazed, triple glazed.
What is Saket, what is your take on the percentage of high efficiency glasses today? Let's say in terms of the total composition. I remember 10 years ago, 90% was still simple glass, float glass. Then it changed.
I think right now in retail segment, it would be almost close to 25 to 30%, which has gone into these high-end glasses, mid to high-end glasses.
So you mean laminated or insulated?
Yes.
And both?
And both.
And in terms of market size today for windows and doors, we are still looking at 10-15,000 crores market.
Windows and doors is close to 15 to 18,000 crores. Talking about future, I think this issue of sizes will keep on growing. And then, of course, in last 4-5 years, the other trend that started happening was people started using slide and fold doors, lift and slide doors, tilt and turn doors. So more fancier looking kind of a thing, and more functional also in that sense. Because slide and fold, what it does is, for example, if you are having it in your drawing room, you can bring in the garden inside the drawing room by kind of opening the door.
I did a first slide and fold in my new house in 2011, and I had all tint and turn high. I had all types of windows. I wanted to experiment, so I said, "Chalo, mera ghar hai, I should be able to make sure I can do whatever I." But having said that, so I think what you're net trying to say, there has been a lot of change. Awareness has been a driver. Availability has been a driver. Innovation has been a driver.
Aesthetics has been a driver.
Aesthetics has been a driver. And I think because there are so many companies in this sector now trying to educate customers, the customer has got more awareness.
Yes.
And I think India और यूरोप में फर्क क्या है? यूरोप में people are very standstill. जो है लो लेना नहीं तो भाग जाओ. इंडिया में क्या है? When an architect asks a customer, the manufacturer like yourself says, अच्छा, मैं देखता हूँ क्या कर सकता हूँ. Then you kind of think about it and then you increase your
Also,
offer.
as a consumer, I think if you see internationally, for example, people are okay to have 20 houses in the same road, same.
यहाँ
Whereas
पे
in India, I think the starting point is my house should be different from the rest of the 19.
but that's a cultural mindset. That's not going to change.
That's not going to change.
जैसे ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਓ ਤਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਵਧੀਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵਧੀਆ and that's the way it works, I'm sure.
But therefore, it kinds of keeps us on the toes in terms of innovating new products every point of time, and I think that's a good challenge to have.
But I think that's good in the sense that you have a challenge. There's something to look forward in your job, in your work. If it's very slapstill and boring, then the job is not interesting anymore.
Correct.
Or your sales heads must be coming every day with some new different type of request like, hey, what, how? And then you say, okay, maybe it's possible, maybe it's scalable, maybe it's but that is, I think, the advantage of being Indian. जुगाड़ हमारे दिमाग में है और we think yes, everything is mostly everything is possible. Now going forward, we've seen a lot of change. You talked about glasses, you talked about mechanism, slide and fold, tilt and turn, retail getting more colors. What do you see, Saket, 5 years that you want to see happening?
See, in windows and doors, as I mentioned, I think the industry will get much more consolidated. There will be fewer players who would want to kind of run with quality and trust with the consumers. There will be few more products that will keep on. I'm sure every year there will be new products that will keep on coming in. I am expecting the sizes to get much more bigger as compared to what it is even at this point of time. People might ask for some more different designs. So, for example, even these. So earlier in our wooden windows, etc., we did used to have all those curved windows and Georgian bars, all those kinds of. All those things are again coming back. People are looking at tilt and turns as a new functionality to look at. There are different kind of bug meshes that our customers are asking. For example, earlier there used to be only slider. Now there are pleated bug meshes also. So there are a lot of innovation that is happening, which is interesting to look at.
Why do you say that there will be more consolidation?
Okay, so why do I say that there will be more of consolidation? Because one, I think in this pandemic, a lot of people would have, and we are observing it, people are wanting to work with companies who stand for trust, who can deliver value. They don't want to work with fly-by-night operators. So that's one thing that's going to happen. Second, I think with all these things happening with this pandemic, with this rising input costs, etc., people will be much more sensible in terms of how to give a right kind of a product to the consumer. It's very easy to sell at a price, but it's not that easy to sell at a right price. I think that.
I think the right price definition is your cost, which is products, then your marketing cost, then your servicing cost, then some profit. That is cost.
Correct. Cost. That is cost.
I don't want to name,
you have to sustain. You have to be there 5 years, 10 years down the line also to be able to service to the customer. If I just service to the customer by selling it at a loss, I might not be even surviving after 5 years to do servicing.
So, if I were to go back in 2000 to 2010, there were, let's say, close to 20, 30 manufacturers, maybe 50 at the best. Then 10 to 15 saw a curve to going up to 200, 250. Today, there is notion that there are 1,000 manufacturers, but I would say, let's say there are 500 manufacturers. Mm-hmm. And then there are maybe 5,000 agents who are claiming to be working in their own windows. But so you're saying that the number of manufacturers would still keep increasing over a period of time?
No, it should get reduced, I would say, because people themselves, the end users, would start realizing that they need to kind of work with certain better quality companies. Because as I mentioned, I was mentioning earlier, it's ultimately you are buying a house, you are manufacturing, you are constructing a house. It's not a kind of a thing that you are going to use for next 2 years, 3 years only. You are building an asset for next 15, 20, 40 years. So you better have a good quality product rather than kind of having used getting it service every 2-3 years kind of a thing.
So then, just to wrap up this thought point, you're working on sustainability. You're working on ensuring customers, like you said, you are the doctor to the customer. You ask him 5 questions before giving him a quotation. Not that somebody comes to you कि मुझे ये quotation मिली है, for example, 500 रुपए की, तो आपका rate क्या है? So then you take back, and I'm sure many times you may not even give an offer.
No, that doesn't happen. To be honest, that doesn't happen.
You give an offer anyways.
We kind of try to educate the customer. So many a times, in fact, it just so happens that customers do take Fenesta offer even before they go to the competition, or even if they've taken just to see what is the. And yes, of course, there are customers who would say, yes, I really understand the product and I like the product, but it's just that I can't afford it. So we kind of try to see what are. So in fact, the other thing that has happened, sorry, I missed out on your earlier question. In last 5 years, we have worked quite a bit on the value engineering side as well. So as to really, so if I see in last 5 years, our product cost, despite our raw material costs have gone up by 40-50%, our end price to the customer has just gone up by 7-8%. Now that has happened because a lot of engineering that has gone behind in terms of making our product much more affordable to the customer, without losing the kind of quality that we, in fact, to be honest, we have improved the kind of value offerings that we are giving to the customer, and at the same point of time, we have not improved, not increased our costs so dramatically as compared to the costs that have gone up in raw materials, whether it is steel, whether it is zinc, aluminium, PVC, everything. Sealant, for my example, I'm sure you know it better than me.
I think just coming back to a thought point, I talked about doors. How are you looking at the government reception today for UPVC windows and doors? It's really gone up a lot, I guess.
It has gone up quite a bit. I think now they have started understanding this product. They are realizing what are the kind of benefits that this product has, both in terms of sound insulation, dust insulation, water insulation, and also in terms of, for example, the kind of energy efficiency that these windows bring in. I'm sure all who are present in this webinar are knowing about it, that UPVC, one per se consumes less energy while manufacturing per se. And of course, if you put a good quality UPVC window and a door, you can achieve an energy efficiency of anywhere between 20 to 30% in terms of lower electricity bills. In fact, internationally in 1960s and 70s, a lot of countries gave a lot of incentives to people to put up these windows and doors, because the electricity requirement for keeping the houses warm is much more than keeping the houses cold. And that's where the governments were giving incentives for people to set up these windows and doors so that the energy bills come down dramatically. And it did came down by almost like 25 to 30%.
So are you appealing to the government of India to do that?
Not really. I think government of India, there has many other things on the hand in terms of looking at this point of time. I think we are trying to educate our customers, and there are in fact a lot of customers. In fact, I think the new thing that is happening is this ESG thing, environmental, social, and governance. So we have to be much more socially responsible, consume lesser energy, so that our children and our children's children can use that natural resources going forward. And similarly, UPVC is a good replacement for wood. Earlier, we were using wooden doors and windows. Now, instead of wooden doors, and I'm using a man-made PVC windows and doors. What it means to, I'm saving the wooden, I'm saving the trees in that sense. Otherwise, we would have been cutting the trees and making those windows and doors. So currently, if 15% of the market, or rather I would say, in fact, out of 100% of the market, only 15% is wood. Rest all is aluminium and UPVC. UPVC also is 15%, rest is aluminium. So only 15% is being used in terms of trees, etc. Rest everything is man-made in that sense. So it really helps the environment and the social environment as well.
What message as a manufacturer of windows and doors would you like to send out as a last to our architectural and developer fraternity and the government?
I think, as I was mentioning in the earlier segment also, don't look at just the price, look at the overall features that a product is offering. These are new age products, and internationally these products, in fact, there are certain countries where, for example, UPVC has a penetration of as high as 90%.
Correct.
Even in countries like US and UK, it is like 65-70%. So what it shows is that these are very, very well accepted products. These are products which will last for a longer period of time. It's just that you have to go to the right set of manufacturer who can provide you with a good quality product and service not only at the time of supplying, but also in the long run. We have a dedicated call center which runs 365 days a year. We are just, as I was mentioning earlier, we are just a call away in terms of giving services to our customers. So just go to those kind of vendors who can provide you that kind of a service and a product. And these are the products which will not only be a good product to the end consumer, but as I was mentioning earlier, the customers have actually realized the kind of benefit, and we do get lots and lots and lots of appreciations from customer that it has really transformed the way they used to live in their houses pre-Fenesta and post-Fenesta.
I like that pre-Fenesta, post-Fenesta, pre-COVID, post-COVID kitana sound karta hai. Saket, thank you so much for your time, and thank you the audience who've listened in today. I think the message is pretty clear. Build a brand, build it sustainably, build it profitably, build on quality, build on consistency, build on the factor that tomorrow what we call as net performance score or customer reviews become very important for retail customers and others to take good decisions. And the world has become so jo dikhta hai wo bikhta hai, and especially on this review pattern and digital marketing, important to keep not just a good face on the front, at the back as well. Your organization should be strong and stable. That stands to be for every business. The window and door industry looks very promising. If it's a 20,000 crore industry becoming a 35,000 crore over the next 7 years, there is enough space for everybody to play football, hockey, whatever you want into the space. So just keep working on making
and play fairly.
Sorry?
And play fairly.
Yeah, play sincerely. And I learned from one of my professors that decent profit must be made decently.
True.
And if somebody's saying that I'm making only 20, 30, whatever margin, it must be decent enough. And of course, there is always people who want to make indecent profit, but that's okay. They also survive. And the ones who don't make any profit probably don't survive that very long. So having said that,
I also heard one saying recently which said, nowadays people are not only asking how much profits are you making, they're also asking how are you making profits.
True that. I have had questions which say कि आप कुछ कमा रहे हो ना बेच के? I said हाँ जी कुछ कमा रहे हैं. Please कमा लेना, नहीं तो बड़ी problem हो जाएगी. So like, yes sir, we appreciate. The customer is saying we appreciate, that you're being very kind to us by at least asking कि हमारी health तो ठीक है, wealth ठीक है कि नहीं है. That is a sustainable part. So with that, thank you Saket once again. Happy New Year to you and all your family and the entire Fenesta team in advance. And let's hope that 2021 is thumbs up and even better.
Sure. In fact, I would also like to thank you, Amit, and WFM community from the bottom of my heart, and from all the 2000 Fenesta employees and partners, etc. I think it was a great session with you.
Thank you, buddy. Take care and love to all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.